What's up guys and gals, and welcome to a brand new video. This week we're going to try something a little bit different. I thought I'd switch gears and try to give you guys a look into my cringiness and embarrassing moments of my life. And in the background we're going to have some Ghost Recon Wildlands gameplay. At the end of the video, I have some projects coming up that I'm excited to announce. And without delaying any further, let's get right into my 4 embarrassing, shitty moments of my life. Embarrassing moment number 1 takes me back to when I was in kindergarten. That's right, I started being embarrassing and cringy all the way back to when I was just starting off in school. It took place around Thanksgiving, and all the kids in my class were tasked with coloring and cutting out fruits for a cornucopia. And basically I was in charge of coloring and cutting out the grapes. I don't remember how old I was at the time, but I thought that instead of cutting out the outline to the entire bunch of grapes, you had to cut them out individually. So as time goes by, everyone's finishing up their fruits, bananas, apples, turkey, whatever the hell, and I'm still over here struggling to cut out each grape one by one. So then the teacher at the time, her name was Miss Hopkins, I'll never forget it, she looked in my little boy eyes and said, "Oh, this is wrong. This is not how grapes are supposed to be." And all the other kids were disappointed because the grapes were really the hallmark of the cornucopia. I don't know why they gave me such a task to perform. It's too much pressure for a little kid. So all the other kids were disappointed at me. We hid my grapes behind all the other fruit like they weren't there. And that was when the snowball started rolling down the hill. For moment number 2, we fast forward all the way to 6th grade. At the time, I didn't have many friends and I was already unpopular. And in this small classroom, we had a standardized test to perform. It was pretty straightforward, multiple choice. Be as quiet as you can, sit away from people that you knew so you don't cause any disruption. So they moved me away from my one friend at the time. His name was Chris, and he sat in the corner of the room, and they sat me in the center of the room next to the popular girl. I remember her name was Sylvia, and I'll never forget the look on her face as I dropped my pencil onto the floor and I bent over to the side to go reach and grab it, and upon doing so, compressed the gas out of my bowels, out from my ass and onto Sylvia. And it was a loud fart too. It wasn't a very soft squeak. It was a kind of sound, and I did not want to get up after getting my pencil, but I did. I sat up straight. I looked around the classroom. Everybody was laughing. Even my asshole friend Chris in the corner was laughing. Sylvia looked at me in disgust. Oh my god. And that nickname Fart Boy stuck with me for 2 years. Oh man. But it didn't stop there. My awkwardness and embarrassing moments continued on. I was at my second job. I was working as a server at a restaurant. I won't name it just in case just in case this ever comes up later on in life. But at this restaurant I had 4 managers and a general manager, and in the back we had a small break room. My friend used to come in all the time, and he had this crush on one of the managers, and usually the managers would take their break in the manager room away from the employees because we're just the common peasant scum. But one day, this manager that my friend had a crush on decided to sit back in the break room. I was texting my friend at the time, and he asked if I could get a picture of her. Now keep in mind, at the time, I was still the awkward David that not many of you really know. So instead of asking for a picture because it just sounded weird, didn't really know how to come about and ask that, I decided to pull up my phone and take a picture of her. I didn't realize the flash was on my phone, so she ended up seeing it, and it just got really quiet and awkward, and she goes, "You know, if you want a picture of me, you could just ask." And I said, "Oh, no, I wasn't taking a picture. I was playing a game on my phone and I clicked the wrong button." She didn't buy it. I know she didn't buy it. I could look. I know what she was probably thinking. This guy's a fucking serial killer. He's gonna kill me when I leave work today. So I continued to work there for 6 years, and I have a feeling that she never forgot that. I told my friend, and he moved on. He didn't bother pursuing her anymore. So that was that was pretty embarrassing for me, for my professional career as a server. And if you think the awkwardness stops at elementary school or kindergarten, no, it continues on into college. During my time in the microscopy program, we had these lab books that we had to fill out. Every day after a lab, we would have to fill out a 1-page summary of what tasks that we performed. And at the time, I was watching a lot of Futurama, and there's this one ongoing joke where people write names on the pizza boxes, and I remember hearing Seymour Asses as one of the names. And during lecture, I would look over to my friend Dexter, and I would just say these names to him and be like, "Hey, Icy Wiener, see more asses. And we would just crack up. And I don't think he knew what I was saying at the time, so I wrote it down in my lab book and I showed him. And then he got the joke. Turns out I wrote see more asses on my lab summary. And at the end of the lab, we would have to show our professor so he could initial the lab summary. And then I remember I forgot completely. And I showed him my lab summary. And it's right there, plain as day, see more asses. And it was too late to take the lab book back. And I could see that he saw see more asses. And he looked at the notebook, he looked at me, he looked at the notebook again, looked at me and initialed it, and handed me my notebook back slowly. Like, dude, you're in a program right now, get your shit together. Stop writing see more asses on a notebook. So I realized that. I walked back to my chair, and Dexter looks at me and he goes, what happened? Did he see more asses? So, those are some embarrassing moments for me. I just wanted to make this video to share that with you so you can get a chance to know the man behind the dumpster. So yeah, I just want to make this one-off video, and next week we're going to have a gaming video, and also if things go as planned, there's going to be the first ever podcast that I'm going to put on this channel, and we have some pretty juicy topics to talk about. I'm still working on the cast that I chose, getting them together. If you made it to the end of the cringiness, congratulations and thank you. I appreciate that. As always, you guys are awesome. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next dumpster.